Today we are going to have a Cretacolor tea time, and we are going to draw a teacup. Let me introduce you Flo, who is our in-house artist. He's doing a lot of demos and workshops for us, and at the same time, he's also the head of the Cretacolor Academy. Cretacolor Academy is a kind of organization where you can register and you can have a workshop online with him when he's showing you different kind of techniques, what you can do with our products. So let's start.
Okay.
So please take your sample kit that you have received. Just a second. Flo is just adjusting the camera so that you can see it. So in your sample kit, you have received 4 different types of Cretacolor Mega Color pencils in different kind of colors: a permanent white, an ultramarine, an indigo, and an ochre light. And then in addition, you have 2 Cretacolor Mega Sketching pencils, the Sepia Light Oil and the Nero Soft. And there is also included a Mega Graphite pencil, a 2B. Plus you have several accessories that we will need for the drawing: a sandpaper, a caramel eraser, a paper stamp. And then Flo will use also Sennelier Green for oil thinner to show you some special effects with the pencils. You can use a baby oil to get some similar effects on your drawing. Okay, let's start.
Okay. So we're beginning for the we're beginning for the skits for the cup, and I give a trick for this. I make so Reka is my is better. So when I speak German for Reka, and Reka
I will translate.
Translate, yes. So also wir haben hier die Vorlage. Und die wollen wir jetzt natürlich hier aufs Papier kriegen. Da gibt es natürlich verschiedene Tricks.
So the first thing that you have to do is just doing an outline of the teacup that we are going to draw.
Entweder,
so if you have a photography of a teacup, there are different kind of tricks how you can transfer transfer it, the outlines to the paper.
Die nicht so gut zeichnen können. Entweder ich mache eine Skizze, indem ich es mir vorzeichne.
So you can just take a graphite pencil and make the outlines of the teacup while you are having the photograph, for example, in your hand.
Oder ich gehe her und würde das jetzt diese Fotokopie hernehmen und mir hinten mit das, was ich brauche, mit Graphit.
Or you can do it also the way that you just cover the backside of the photo, let's say like that, with a graphite pencil, and then you will just turn the paper around.
Also wenn du den magst, jetzt nur das damals okay.
Yeah, you just turn the paper around.
Die höher anders probieren, damit man nicht sieht. Könnte man jetzt hier hergehen. Könnte das dann.
Put it on the top of the other paper. And you draw the outlines of the teacup with a pen, for example, and it just transfers the graphite to the other paper. Just a second, we try to do it a little bit sharper so that you can see the lines. Yeah, okay. So this is a kind of small trick that helps you to make the outlines of the drawing. Okay. So wir machen es aber jetzt so, dass wir es jetzt nachzeichnen für die, die das können, aber die das jetzt zum Beispiel schnell machen würden, die können es jetzt dann sagen. Ich mache es jetzt so, dass es halt. Okay, so let's take your paper, and we are starting with the graphite pencil, the 2B.
da wird es jetzt so machen.
And we are drawing the outlines of the teacup. You don't have to push the pencil very much on the paper, really just softly, because you will feel that this graphite pencil being that soft, it really just glides on the paper.
Muss jetzt auch nicht so genau sein.
Ein bisschen
Also nicht noch.
So it's okay. Okay, I guess now you can see better.
Yeah, I can see the lines.
Okay, good. So softly, not pushing the pencil onto the surface of the paper.
Also ich brauche jetzt nicht mehr die Konturen.
It's really just the outlines, very light, of the teacup. And I guess that you can all feel that having this smooth surface of the paper, how easily the graphite is working on the paper. The big advantage, by the way, of this pencil is that it has a very solid and robust wooden case, so it's very comfortable in your hands. It's very easy to hold. And however, it has a thick lead, you can see that you can work also fine lines with the pencil if you sharpen it to the point.
Rika, is there a way you can adjust it? Just looks like the screen is getting a little wavy and flickery. I don't know if there's something you can do.
Sie sagt, dass es sehr flickert. Könntest du damit
Ja,
anfangen?
das ist da.
No, das ist zu viel.
Ja, das ist von Erna aus.
No. Is it better now?
It kind of lights it out when you go too bright, but if you're close up, I think it's good. So if you go real close to Plo's drawing.
So,
Is it better? It's
no,
closer? Closer?
warte mal.
Yeah, go like 3 stages closer.
Mach es ein bisschen näher.
Ich schaue es schon.
No? No?
Again,
Und noch.
and one more.
No. That was the last one, I guess.
Okay.
No, but it's for. What?
Oh my God.
So,
How is it now?
It's good now.
Oh yeah, that looks
Yeah,
better.
it doesn't have to flicker anymore. And I think you can see the details, but
Yeah,
some people want it a little bit closer if possible.
Kannst du das bitte noch ein bisschen näher machen? Manche wollen das näher.
Yeah, maybe just like right
That's
there
good.
is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Thank
now
you.
You are welcome. Now you take your graphite pencil and you start from the left edge of the teacup.
yes.
Just to work the shadow. Very, very softly. Just make the shading. Again, don't push the pencil to the paper. It easily gives the color, so you don't have to push it. Slightly just cover this area.
So everybody, you guys have half pencils. This is the gray lacquer color pencil, which is the graphite. And it's a 2B for you guys to know. But each pencil is a half pencil, so you probably only see Cretacolor or Mega Graphite or just the 2B, but it's the gray lacquer. Then also the black one will be the Nero when they're talking about the Nero, and it's a Nero soft. Nero is actually a mixture of charcoal and oil. Then the one next to that is the Sanguine, or no, sorry, Sepia Light. And that has a kind of brown body. And then after that, you guys should be able to see, I guess the one that may be confusing is between the two blues, but the ultramarine is a lot more vibrant color than the indigo.
This is the ultramarine.
So when you're painting, you make a little.
So you
Small
are
lines.
you are just making short lines, so you don't have to cover the whole surface immediately. Just work in short lines.
Also kurze Striche oder kreisartig. Das ist am besten, damit die gleichmäßige Fläche.
It's better because this way you can just cover the surface more evenly.
Und auch nicht zu viel aufdrücken. Das wird sehr zu dunkel.
And don't push too much the pencil, because otherwise it's getting too dark. So the aim is now to create something more grayish.
Das wir jetzt dann verblenden, aber ich lege jetzt einmal bis zu diesem Punkt. Ich mache das so in kleinen Kreisen.
So Flo is working not really with short lines, but it's more very short little circles, how he's using the pencil.
And Flo, how did you decide when to pick which type of grade pencil? Why did you decide a 2B instead of a 9B or instead of a 2H?
Wieso hast du
Weil
das
da natürlich ein Grauton drinnen ist.
Because here on the teacup you have more a grayish tone, and if you had just picked up, for example, a 9B, it would have been too dark already.
Würde man jetzt eine Grauzeichnung hernehmen, ne?
So if you just have a look, so this is a gray print.
So
Uh-huh.
you see the gray tones for the cup. It's better you see the shadows here. It's more gray. It's black of this side, and so you have here in the copy for the color. You see here a little gray and a little for a brown tone. So here.
So we will then mix these two colors
Yes.
afterwards.
So you're finding your value.
And it's always better to start with something in a light color, and then afterwards, if you need it more dark, you can still darken it with another graded pencil, for example.
So and you can blending with a stamp.
So now take your paper stamp.
Stump.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can also use a Q-tip or whatever.
So when you cleaning this paper stamp, not with erasure, so I give this sandpaper, and when you here on this side.
So never clean a paper stamp with an eraser because it destroys, but always use a sandpaper because it cleans perfectly the paper stamps and even keeps the surface of the paper stamp very even and clean.
Und jetzt mache ich das eigentlich mit der breiten Seite.
So you just take your paper stamp now and start in the left edge to make the shadow. So lightly pushing on the paper. And you can see how nicely it just smudges the graphite. Lines are disappearing. You are getting an even surface. It's a smoky surface. You can try to do it, of course, also with a paper, for example, just with a tissue, for example, a dry tissue. And then you can make bigger surfaces much faster. Of course, if you want to do the shadings more precise, then it's better to use the paper stamp because it allows you to work more precisely than with a dry paper or dry tissue, sorry, dry tissue.
Den nehme ich halt ein bisschen weg.
And with the dry tissue, you are taking away also a little bit of the graphite from the paper. However, in case of the paper stamps, it more pushes the graphite into the paper than taking away. So you can just see as going from the left to the right, that on the left side, it's more dark, and as you just smudge it, it's getting lighter and lighter. And you can already see the shadow and the light effect on the teacup.
In Wirklichkeit sieht man da nicht wirklich weiß. Weiß ist da eigentlich auch gar nicht drin.
Because you can see on the original as well that it's not white really, it's more grayish. So there is also a shadow on the teacup.
Aber man sieht da jetzt, wenn man da jetzt schaut, nicht.
So
Würden wir jetzt,
if you just take a stencil where you can see the gray shades and the white shades,
blue, light blue.
so it's not perfectly white there.
Yeah. This is white.
So that would be the real white. And you can see that there is a difference.
So it's here, it's a little for. So you see here on the gray drones here for these pictures, it's not white. It's here, it's gray.
It's more grayish,
more
yeah,
gray,
than white. So it's not a clean white, let's say like that.
Here, this side, darker.
And then you take the graphite pencil again. So still the graphite pencils we are working with, and you just make a bit more darker shadow underneath of the teacup. So again, short lines or little circles. And then blend it with the paper stamp.
So you have here on the paper stamp a little for graphite. So you can
so whatever stays on the tip of the paper stamp from the pencil, so in this case the graphite, you can use to make the shadow further. So that's why you don't have to cover with the graphite pencil the whole piece of the teacup, because you can use the rest of the graphite pencil from the paper stamp. So the left side of the teacup underneath is darker than what you have above. So Flo is smudging a little bit also the outlines of the teacup, and just putting a little bit of gray to the right side as well. You can use the paper stamps also the way that you just put a little bit of the graphite pencil, the tip of the graphite pencil onto the tip of the paper stamp. And then you really just get light shadow effects on the teacup.
And Flo, are you using the tip of the blending stump or do you use the side of it?
Was verwendest du? Ganz genau die Spitze von den Papierwischer oder eher die sides?
The sides and the Spitze.
Both. But when you are doing the blending, it's more the sides of the paper stamp.
So when you're blending, it's more this side. Yeah. And when it's tea tiles, so it's better when you
So when you want to smudge the lines, the outlines, yes, and don't make them so visible, then it's better to use the tip of the paper stamp.
So, and it's not so dark painting. Also wenn man nicht zu dunkel gleich am Anfang, weil wenn man zu dunkel ist, dann entstehen zu viele Schichten. Also
So you
eher
shouldn't start with a very, very dark surface, because otherwise to lighten it up, it's pretty difficult. It's much better to start with something more light gray, because afterwards you can still make it darker if you need it. So now take the Mega Sepia Oil Light Pencil, the one that is totally covered in brown color. This is also this is an oily sketching pencil. So slightly, you just start on the left side of the teacup. The same technique like Phil was using before with the graphite pencil, so short lines or circles, because you could see before on the photo that on that side there is also some brown on the teacup. So very, very light. Don't push it on the paper, so that you just get a little bit of brownish color on the cup. A little bit also underneath of the teacup. And he's drawing also the outlines with the sepia, so that at the end you will just get this shiny circle underneath.
And graphite inherently has sheen to it, so it works well with these oil pencils.
Yeah, definitely.
And also for everyone to know, there's two color sepias that they have in their line. This is the light, but there's also a dark one.
Yeah. Well, actually the big advantage of these pencils, because all of the Mega sketching pencils of Cretacolor are oil-based. So it means that you don't need a fixative for your drawing. So it's also very, very much recommended, for example, when you take them for a planner, that you just don't smudge your hands. You don't need to fix your drawing, and they are really smooth on the paper. That's a big advantage compared to a dry sketching pencil, that they have an oil content. In the meantime, Flo was just taking the Mega Color pencil, the ochre light. So you just go over where you already have the graphite and the sepia, just go over with this ochre light pencil very softly.
And does it matter in terms of layering a wax pencil? Because the Mega Color is a wax-based coloring pencil, correct?
Correct, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does it matter in terms of layering which one goes on top of which?
Macht das einen Unterschied, was du unter und was du oben hast von den Farben?
Ja, also es verändert ja immer die Farben, wenn man es jetzt da...
It does make a difference, because
look here.
For example, if you just start with an ochre light,
Zum Beispiel,
and then you go over with the sepia light,
jetzt anders machen würde.
Then you get this color, and if you make it the other way around, then you get another color. So it depends what kind of shade you want to have at the very end.
But it doesn't matter in terms of blending wise with the two materials mixing.
No. So Mega Color and also the sketching pencils are perfect for blending and mixing the colors. That's no problem at all.
And working together.
Yes.
So
with the paper stamp, he is just blending the whole area. So where you have the graphite, the sepia, and the ochre light, so that you really mix all these colors together.
Vorsichtig natürlich, nicht zu viel aufdrücken.
Don't push it too much, so just do it softly with the paper stamp.
Grau wirkt ja manchmal wie blau, wenn man das dann so irgendwas, also man sieht, ja, ich kann jetzt natürlich schon noch nacharbeiten, aber dass ich habe da vielleicht zu wenig grau. Dann,
so every now and then that you have the feeling that, for example, somewhere it's not dark enough, you can go over with the graphite pencil again and then blend it again.
Ja, wenn ich sehe, dass irgendwo noch aus, irgendwo ist jetzt gehabt habe. Wie gesagt, man kann es ja wieder mit dem Tuch.
So as mentioned before, for bigger surfaces, you can use a dry tissue as well.
Was man natürlich noch machen kann, ist natürlich auch mit dem weißen Stift zu blenden. Ja, aber das ist halt natürlich die Gefahr da, dass er extrem zumacht. Also wenn ich jetzt da hergehen würde.
So you can use for blending also the white
fein,
mega color pencil.
Da kann ich nur ganz leicht hergehen.
But you
Also
just
man
have to
sieht-
do it very carefully and very softly, because otherwise it closes the surface.
Aber man sieht, man kriegt da ein bisschen, es wird ein bisschen dunkler. Ja, aber es ist natürlich.
So you can see that it changes the color. But don't push it too hard.
And what is his preference? Because I know there's a white chalk oil, and then there's also a mega color white.
Was verwendest du lieber, ein Megacolor Weiß oder ein Weißkreideöl?
Das,
He prefers the Megacolor White
And how come?
because it's not that intense. So if you want to have more intense effect, then he would use the white chalk oil. If you just want to have a slight difference and slight lightening it up, then it's better to use the white color.
Der ist ein bisschen, so geht's mir so, der ist ein bisschen härter als der andere.
So the Megacolor permanent white is a little bit harder than a white chalk oil. And that's why you can more control how you are using the pencil. So now Flo is working with the ochre light again from Megacolor.
Das Goldene.
So just to get this golden color underneath of the teacup.
Nur mal ganz leicht anlegen, nicht sehr extrem.
So softly you just draw the lines of the teacup with the ochre light. So you can feel that the Megacolor pencils are also very, very soft on the paper. They have really a bright and vivid colors. It's due to the high pigmentation of the pencil. And they are really the thickest possible pencils on the market at the moment. So not just the wooden barrel is that much thick, but also the lead of the pencil is extremely thick. And the big advantage of this pencil that you can use it for fine details if you sharpen it to the point, but at the same time, if you want to cover bigger areas, if you hold the pencil ball, that it allows you to cover big areas much faster than with a normal pencil.
Die dunklen Stellen, die ich da habe.
Then Flo now is using the graphite pencil again, just to make the dark lines and the shadow effects.
Das ist ja wieder genau dasselbe, das ich mit dem.
And then with the paper stamp, of course, you can blend it to get the real shadow effect.
Dann den Black.
Then you take the Nero, the sketching pencil. Show it. So the Nero sketching pencil, mega sketching pencil. And here you can see the perfect eraser. It's the electric eraser that makes really a very, very fine point of the pencil. So as Lauren has already pointed out, Nero is a very special pencil because it's an oily charcoal pencil. It contains charcoal and it has a lamp black and an oil. So it means that it's water resistant. You can smudge it a little bit and you can dissolve it with water a little bit, but definitely it's a permanent pencil. And it produces a very nice deep black, shiny black color. It's perfect for outlining when you want to emphasize something, or for example, you can perfectly use this Nero pencil with watercolor technique as well if you want to emphasize the outlines of your watercolor drawing, for example. it exists in different grades. So we, in the mega sketching range, we have a soft, medium, and a hard. But in case of normal pencils, we even have extra soft and extra hard. So Nero is generally one of the favorite pencils of Flo, I have to add. So he's working quite a lot with Nero pencils.
It's something different that's on the market that not many or nobody has a comp of. So it's something that they're well known for globally. And Plo, when do you decide to use a hard Nero pencil versus an extra soft?
Vi entscheidest du, ob du einen...
Ett stycke is soft.
So the more deeper black color he wants to have, the more softer Nero pencil he uses.
Obwohl jetzt mit dem Soft natürlich auch.
Of course, if you don't push the soft that much onto the paper, you won't get that dark color. But the main reason for choosing a soft or a hard Nero is mainly how deep black color he needs.
Is there any filler in it?
In a pencil?
Yes, in the hard, or is it just?
It's
different
it's
ratio.
A portion of the content of the pencil that makes it harder.
So in other lines, there are some fillers sometimes, so it doesn't come out as smooth as with Cretacolors. So you may find with your charcoals that it's grainy or it's actually leaving a mark on the paper. With Cretacolor, it's pure charcoal just mixed with their proprietary oil bath.
By the way, you can sharpen the pencils, not just with the electric eraser, but also with the sandpaper, if you need it. Das kannst du mit dem nächsten Band zeigen. Dass du das auch damit spitzen kannst, ja? So now Plo is using the ultramarine of the mega color.
And this is the brighter one of the two blues.
Yeah. It's indicated on the pencil. I guess you can see.
They have half, so.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Da mache jetzt natürlich das Muster nur so scheinmäßig, weil sie so klar ist. Das muss, wenn man sie eigentlich auch fast nicht sieht.
So he's not doing the motif of the teacup very, very exactly, because underneath of the teacup you can see that it's not so very visible.
Das ist nicht wichtig, weil man sie.
And it's not that important anyway, because it's more in the shadow.
Hey, Rika, we have someone asking about the light fastness of the mega color.
The mega colors are not light fast. So we haven't tested them, let's say like that. We haven't tested them for light fastness yet.
However, though, I have spoken with the CPSA about the mega color, and they've done their own studies on it, and it holds pretty well, but there's no claim. So, and we haven't gone through the testing, but compared to other brands, it holds.
And they are really highly pigmented, so they are full of pigments.
Another question is, since they contain oil, do they darken with time?
Ändern sich die Farben von Megacolor? No. Nope. They are actually wax-based.
Sie ändern sich nur dann, wenn ich.
So Megacolor is wax-based.
Wenn ich es wirklich verblende.
They are getting just darker in case you use any kind of medium. So for example, the Sennelier Green for oil, the thinner.
Aber da muss man ganz wenig.
So this is the kind of medium where you can make the color darker, but otherwise with the time, it's not changing the color.
So
you can see that Plo just took a little bit of this green for oil thinner. And I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but it makes the colors a little bit darker. Can you see that?
Yes. And Flo,
So-
is there any special reason why you like the green for oil Sennelier? Besides that it doesn't have any fumes or odors and it's biodegradable. Do you like the texture of it or can you use any thinner? Doesn't matter.
Spezieller Grund, wieso du Sennelier Green for Oil verwendest.
Ist
Gibt es nur wegen, dass es nicht riecht?
erstens mal geruchsarm, ja, so
So mainly because it doesn't smell at all.
und es gibt ja ein Diolent, so nennt sie das Ganze, Diolent. Gibt es ja von anderen Herstellern, die halt natürlich einen Geruch haben.
From other producers, there are similar thinners as well,
Und,
but mainly their smell. So that's why he prefers, because there is no smell of it.
und weil was für die Umwelt. Ne? Klimaschutz.
And it's also environmental friendly, he said.
Yes, it's made of vegetable oils and other biodegradable materials.
So take your eraser, the caramel eraser you have in your sample kit, and you can just take away small parts from your drawing.
Das ist so, dass der natürlich auch das Papier nicht verletzt.
To make highlights. So the big advantage of the caramel eraser that it crumbles a lot when you are using it, this art gum, but at the same time, it's really delicate to the surface of the paper. So it doesn't do any damage to the surface of the paper.
Natürlich jetzt die Linien auch wieder schwächer machen. Oder die halt jetzt so das Skizze nicht so schön sind.
So you can take away also a little bit of the graphite outline of the teacup so that it's not so intense, just to lighten it up a little bit with an eraser.
So, ich mache jetzt da das Metallische, damit man das einmal sieht, wie das eigentlich
So
ich beginne ja mal mit diesem hellen. Das ist natürlich immer, wenn der sehr gespitzt ist. Ja, ja, was soll der spitzen tun?
Na, mit dem anderen. Also nicht mit dem.
Was? Das ist ja gut. Ich kann das sagen.
So Flo is showing you that you can use, of course, not just an electric eraser, but also a sandpaper for sharpening the pencil.
Do you guys also have a Mega Duo pencil sharpener?
Yes, we do have a special sharpener for the Mega line. It's a double sharpener, a Mega Duo sharpener. It's suitable for our Mega pencils and also for normal pencils, and it does have a container. The good thing about it that you can take it with you. You can close the container, so there is no danger that the rest of the shavings are falling out because it closes properly. So now we are going to create this golden color of the teacup. Flo is using the ochre light pencil again. Very softly. And then with the Nero pencil, the black one,
dass man nicht zu viel geht von der Farbe.
just a little bit. Not pushing too much because otherwise it's getting too dark, too deep black.
Das ist natürlich, da geht es dasselbe mit dem Grau.
And then you take the graphite pencil and very, very softly, you just cover the rest of the area with the graphite pencil. And then
Cleaning.
you clean the paper stamp because probably it's already dirty. And then you just blend the graphite and the ochre light.
Dass man natürlich jetzt passiert, dass jetzt dunkel bin.
If it's too dark, then you can use your eraser to lighten it up.
Is there a technique with the rubber gum eraser to make sharper edges?
Gibt's da eine Technik, dass du dann ganz
Nein.
ja,
To get smaller spots?
Yeah, so you can with the knife cut.
You can cut it off with a knife.
So look here for the cut, and you can hear the erasure. It's a soft erasure, and you have.
It's very easy to cut.
Cut.
And then you have sharp edges of the eraser.
And you have here.
And you can work more precise. Or the other option is, of course, to use the electric eraser of Cretacolor.
So it's here before.
So from down under with the graphite pencil very softly, and then with the paper stamp to create the shadow effect. You can see that Blow is really just using a little bit of graphite pencil, and afterwards you can really work with the paper stamp because it already has the graphite on the tip.
Blue here.
And then you take a little bit of the ultramarine blue again, just very, very softly, so that it's not getting that much blue. So you can really see how you can smudge a graphite, a blue, and an ochre light, and it just results in a totally different color shade.
What's different about Cretacolor's electric eraser, which isn't listed, but Plaza can get it at any point for you guys, is that it has a metal bearing at the bottom of the eraser holder, which allows it to last much longer. It also comes with a set of erasers with different consistencies. So some are a little bit harder, some are a little bit softer.
And the main advantage of the Cretacolor electric eraser is really this part in the front of the eraser that is made of metal. So here you can see this one. And this is a key in case of the electric eraser, because usually this part is made of plastic and it breaks very easily.
Break, and you have the rotation is mit der Zeit leiert sich aus durch
Messes
Hitze.
up the rotation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a rotation because due to the heat that it produces while it's rotating, it just breaks the plastic. So then again, small pieces of the Nero.
It's gonna do me up.
Now you can push it a little bit more onto the paper to get it more dark. Because this part of the teacup is more significant dark. And then with the ultramarine again, to make the contrast. You can blend it then with a little bit of white.
Diese Unschärfe da hinten. Überfärbt der Kante.
And then when you go just over the edge of the teacup, you can just blend it very nice so that it's not a sharp line.
Jetzt können natürlich Öre ein bisschen stärker werden mit der Farbe.
Then an ochre light again, and now you can just push the pencil a little bit more on the paper to get a more intense color. And I guess you can all see now that on the grip of the teacup, you can see already the light and the golden effect. It pops up really nice as you are using one color after the other.
When creating highlights, do you just leave the open spaces white, or do you ever lift to make the highlight on top?
Wenn du etwas dann hervorheben willst, also was glänzt und weiß ist, lässt du das weiß. He's leaving it white.
Das ist besser, weil du eigentlich ja im Prinzip nie so weiß hinkriegst.
He says it's better this way because you will never get that white of the paper
Jetzt da zum Beispiel
with anything else.
Dann ist ja nicht weiß, da wird er so grau. Wenn man sich eigentlich mehr dann verschmiert eigentlich. Nicht so optimal. Ja. So. Dann machen wir da nochmal den Goldrand.
Then he's just drawing the outline of the teacup with the ochre light.
Vorsichtig natürlich auch wieder nicht zu viel.
Carefully, not that much push on the pencil. For the edges of the teacup to get this very nice golden color.
And for the paper, do you want any tooth at all, or when using the mega color pencils to get more pigment off, or do you just want it completely smooth?
For the mega color, it's better to have a smooth surface of the paper because it lays much more color down on a smooth surface. But as mega color has a very thick, stable, but at the same time very soft lead, it's also possible to work with a pencil on a rough surface or even on a canvas. But of course, the best is a smooth surface of paper.
You guys have in your sample packs, it's Fabriano 1264, Bristol 100 pound. But the recommended was between 100 and 200 pound. Fabriano also makes a hot press studio that has sizing in it, which allows more watercolor or other mediums on it. But usually Plo also likes, I think, what is it? Arches or Stonehenge too, hot press.
Can you repeat the paper type we were supplied?
Yes, I'll put it in the notes. And then also give you guys a link.
Thank you.
Sure thing, not a problem.
So in the meantime, Flo was just outlining the edges of the teacup very delicately with the Nero pencil as well. And now he's going over on the left side of the teacup with the Nero to get it a little bit darker.
Ja.
Just very softly.
Den Kontrast kann ich mir nachher noch machen. Das ist immer besser, heller zu sein als zu dunkel.
So you can increase the contrast anytime if you start not that much dark, and then you can just go over to get it darker. So now he's working with the ochre light again. Very, very softly, just a little bit, really just a touch of the color on the paper. Because inside of the teacup, it's more light, but it's not a real white. So that's why he's covering the surface with the ochre light to get this goldish reflection of the teacup. And then now he's using the indigo of the mega color, so the other blue, and softly just going over on the left side of the teacup, inside of the teacup.
So, dass ich nur aus der
Very, very softly, so you can just slightly see the color.
ganze dann aber mit dem Tuch, was besser ist.
And then you can go over with a dry tissue or a paper stamp, and you blend these goldish and bluish colors. So you already have a very nice reflection there.
Jetzt einmal so die Muster mehr anfangen.
Then he's taking the indigo again, so the mega color indigo. And he's already starting to draw the motif into the teacup.
Ist aber nicht so tragisch, wenn
softly, so not too much pressure. So while you are drawing the motifs of the teacup, I would like to make you familiar with an Austrian specialty that's called the Sacher cake. So I was thinking that now that we are drawing a teacup, a cake would match to the teacup perfectly. However, unfortunately, that just virtually, but maybe after the demo, you will just search for the recipe and bake it yourself as well. So I don't know whether you have ever heard of the famous Austrian cake, the Sacher cake. It's a chocolate cake of Austrian origin, invented by Franz Sacher, most probably in the middle of the 19th century for Prince Metternich in Vienna. It's really one of the most famous Viennese culinary specialties. Prince Metternich had requested a dessert for a special occasion, but his chef was ill at that time. So a 16-year-old trainee, Franz Sacher, just jumped in. The cake he created couldn't have been more delicious. He has created a chocolate sponge cake filled with one layer of apricot jam and covered the cake with chocolate. The original Sacher cake is still handmade using the original recipe till today and best enjoyed with an unsweetened whipped cream. So I hope that some of you are familiar with the cake. If not, just look at the recipe. It's called the Sacher cake, and it's really, really delicious.
Ist nicht wichtig, dass da das Muster genau ist. Also für die.
Flo is saying that it's not so important that you follow that much precisely the motif on the teacup. So you can let work your fantasy as well.
Man kann sie da jetzt sehen, wie es ausschaut. Also man braucht nicht so ins Detail gehen.
So you don't have to go into details that much, as you prefer. So first, always soft on the paper, and then afterwards, if you have some parts where you really see the exact lines, then you can push the pencil more on the paper.
And how are you getting dimension here? So are you changing the shape of your leaves, or are you just looking back and forth?
Wie kriegst du dann die Proportionen? Also du schaust ab und zu schon auf das Foto, oder?
Ja, ich schaue schon immer auf so da.
So he's just looking there and back, photo and the drawing. But as he told before, it's not necessary that you are really following strictly the motif of the teacup. So you can let play your fantasy.
Aber es ist halt so, dass das halt nicht detailgemäß jetzt macht. Das braucht man eigentlich nicht.
But is there any specific area that you want your detail to be in? Is it the focal point, or just to create more dimension?
Ist da irgendein Teil von der Tasse, wo du wirklich dann in Einzelheiten reingehen wirst oder gar nicht?
Würde ich es nicht machen. Also man kann schon, es ist ja so, dass du es immer von der Distanz siehst, und es gibt verschiedene Künstler, die eigentlich gar nicht einmal so extrem jetzt in dem Fotorealismus, das würde dann ja schon eigentlich der Hyperrealismus sein. Wir machen ja da ein Foto, und im Foto kann man halt selbst das Schöne ist halt so, beim Foto ist so, dass ich halt ein bisschen was rein integrieren kann.
So if you would go into very, very much in details and really just copy the original one, it would be already a hyperrealism. So he prefers to meet somewhere in the middle of hyper and photorealism, let's say like that.
Aber ich kann ja nicht an ein Foto zeigen, was du siehst, zum Beispiel Franz Gertsch ist so einer, das ist ein Schweizer Fotorealist, der hat sehr grob arbeitet, und wenn du dann aber weggehst, glaubst du, es ist ein Foto.
But he said that there are artists who are working not in that much details, but if you are just looking at the ready-made artwork from a special distance, it just works as it would be a photo. So it's really, really photorealistic. It depends also on the distance, what you are looking at the photo of.
Im ersten Moment soll es wie ein Foto ausschauen, aber auf der anderen Seite ist ja auch so, dass die Leute auch sehen sollen, dass es gemalt ist.
Grace asked if you can use the oil pencils with oil painting.
You mean the Nero pencil or in general?
In general, the Nero or the graphite or the sepia, or the sanguine, can you use it with oil painting?
Dame hat gefragt, ob du mit Ölgemälde, also mit Öl, diese Stifte verwenden kannst, also als Mixed-Technik.
In Öltechnik selbst, jein. Also du kannst es schon, weil du sie auch blenden auch kannst mit dem Öl. Kinder.
Yes or no? Yes and no at the same time.
Das kommt jetzt darauf an, wenn Sie natürlich die Buntstifte im Vorfeld verarbeitet. Also ich würde jetzt sagen, so, wenn Sie es draufmalen nachher, wird es ziemlich schwierig sein. Außer
wenn du Stift zuerst verwendest und dann Öl.
dann magst. Also wenn du erst Stift magst und dann Öl dazu meinst, ist es sicher kein Thema, oder dass man jetzt gewisse Sachen macht. Ich würde jetzt so sagen, wenn es jetzt auf dem Öl schon direkt drauf meint, würde es auch gehen. Kommt immer darauf an, wenn jetzt auf Leinen arbeitet oder auf einer Malplatte. Malplatte natürlich einfacher.
So he says that if you are working first with a pencil and afterwards you just go over with an oil painting, it works. But it depends also on the surface, because it can work also on the contrary, that you are using the pencil on the oil painting, but it depends also on the surface, what you are using, whether it's a canvas or a board.
Dann ist es natürlich einfacher. Das würde schon gehen.
So you can see whenever Flo is starting to draw a motif, he is very soft with the pencil. And when he's already sure about what he wants, then he pushes the pencil more on the paper to get more intense colors.
Manchmal aussehen, manchmal ein bisschen dunkler.
So whenever there are parts that you want to highlight to get more focus on, you just push the pencil more and it lays down more color.
Wichtig ist, dass man halt wirklich in Schichten auftragt, diese Schichten nicht extrem macht. Weil,
it's important that you are working in layers.
Weil umso mehr ich aufdrücke, das kann ich jetzt nicht zeigen, umso mehr man natürlich jetzt die Farbe da drauf.
So the more you push the pencil on the paper,
es ist natürlich immer schwieriger, dann Farben draufzulegen, wenn man ja
so if you are just pushing the pencil too much on the paper as a first layer, then of course it's very difficult to mix the colors. So that's why it's important that you are just using the pencil softly, and then you can easily mix it with other colors.
Und das Bessere ist auch das, wenn ich jetzt wirklich dann Fehler habe, dann kann ich immer noch da jetzt.
And whenever there is a mistake, you think that there is a mistake, then you can just correct it with the eraser.
Da kann ich das noch immer mit dem wegnehmen. Ja. Dann habe ich immer den Vorteil, hier auch noch zu korrigieren. Was ich natürlich mit den Dings nicht mehr dann so kann.
Is there any special color testing to figure out which colors you're to pick that Plo does prior to buying or selecting his colors?
Hast du irgendwelche Farbenpräferenzen zum Beispiel? Oder nicht besonders?
Wie?
Hängt davon ab, was du machst, oder?
Ja.
It depends always what he's working on. So otherwise, no real preferences.
Es ist ja so, dass man ja mit den Buntstiften eher mixen kann, also mischen kann eigentlich in dem Sinn.
So the good thing about this pencil is that you can really mix the colors, and you can get different hues.
Ja, wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel Porträt mache, habe ich wahrscheinlich mehr Brauntöne.
So, for
Mehr-
example, for drawing a portrait, of course, he's using more brownish colors.
Also es sind eh nicht, man verwendet ja eh nicht so viel Farben, wenn man es ja eh irgendwie zusammenmischt. Und
But you can see it also in case of the teacup that he's more mixing the colors than using just one color.
also es gibt ja viele, die zum Beispiel die Farbe sich da aussuchen, schon vom Dings her, vom Buntstift, wo es halt mehrere gibt. Aber ich finde halt, dass man, wenn man es halt selber mischt, das eigentlich einen eigenen Charakter kriegt.
So he prefers to mix the colors of the color pencils because this way he gets more kind of personalized drawing and his own colors.
And the mega color line comes in 36 colors. But these pigments too are similar to your pastel pigments. Is that correct?
What you mean that's similar to the pastel pigments?
It's the same pigment used in the pencil. It's a different formula, but
It's a different formula, yeah, but pigments are more or less the same, yeah.
kann man es jetzt nicht, könnte man jetzt natürlich viel mehr ausarbeiten, aber da würde man jetzt den Zeitrahmen aussprengen. Also, hm? Ja, das ist doch gut.
So slowly, you are getting the teacup.
So wie chinesische. Nicht in China. Ich jetzt damit dann einmal den leider Namen nehmen.
Then you can take also the other blue, the ultramarine. You can emphasize parts of the motif with outlining with the pencil.
Mhm. Kan jeg høre på stärker med
At the edge of the teacup, you can push the pencil a little bit more so that you get more color laid on to make it darker.
Ska jetzt ein bisschen blenden auch.
And then with the paper stamp, you can blend the motif so that it's not so significant, let's say, so not so sharp with the outlines.
Looks a bisschen unscharf. Der blends halt mit dem Mittel wieder.
Or some parts of the teacup you can make darker with the color using the thinner or using a baby oil.
Ja, wenn man
Ja,
halt
okay.
Erde fährt oder so, immer ein bisschen noch abtupfen, weil das ist dann so intensiv manchmal, dass man zu viel drauf
Just
hat.
little parts of the teacup to make the color more intense. You can see immediately that it darkens the color. So it gets even more vivid.
Vorsichtiger,
But softly,
extrem aufdrücken.
don't push that too much. And really just use a little bit of thinner or baby oil.
Irgendwas, wenn jetzt dunkel ist, kann man natürlich auch mit
In
dem
case you think that it got too dark, you can still go over with the white pencil of the mega color to lighten it up.
And what's the difference between the effect of baby oil versus thinner?
Was ist der Unterschied zwischen ein Babyöl und ein Diluent?
Diolent ist halt wirklich für Ölfarben und für Wachsfarben.
So thinner is really for
Es ist halt
for oil colors.
Ölfarben, also wirklich eine Verdünnung für Ölfarben und dadurch verletzt sich die Pigmente nicht.
So thinner is really meant to be to use for oil colors, and it doesn't destroy the pigments of the oil color.
Weil beim Babyöl ist es so, dass natürlich Irritantien dabei sind. Ja, man sagt zwar jetzt, okay, für das Kind ist auch okay, aber es sind trotzdem Differenzen drinnen, die die Pigmente kaputt machen.
In case of baby oil, it might be that some parts of the pigments get destroyed.
Und dadurch ja die Pigmente teilweise heute schon Synthetik sind, synthetische Pigmente, ist es natürlich nur immer dann auch, ja, weiß man nie, wie sie sich verhalten.
Mhm.
Ja. Das drinnen, das Ding ist das drinnen.
Then with the ochre light, Flo is now doing the inner side of the teacup. This golden decoration of the teacup. and softly goes over on the edges again. And then with the Nero pencil, you can emphasize the edge of the teacup. So you can see that with the Nero pencil, with this oily charcoal pencil, you can make very nice outlines and emphasize the outlines.
Yeah. Lost me a bit. So, good.
Then he just erases a little bit the outline of the plate of the teacup,
So that we should not see.
so that it's not that that sharp. And then he uses the ochre light again because it has a goldish round. Short lines and softly, because you can make it darker anytime.
So I think we're getting close to the end of the tutorial or workshop, and I wanted to see everybody's work to see how it went for you guys. Will you guys all share?
Yeah,
Wow.
so if you guys do want to and you want to see everyone's else work, you can also go to the view and go to gallery.
Very impressed with all of your guys' work every time I do a workshop with you guys. Very skilled. They
Yeah,
all look great.
Very nice. Very nice.
We are looking.
And also, you guys all followed too time-wise as well, being a realist. Very nice.
Yes, very good.
Wow.
Wow.
Very
That is
impressed.
sehr gut.
Very,
Yes.
very good. No, really.
It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no joke.
Yes,
Good job. Excellent.
Good job.
Thank
Good.
you.
Teacher. So yeah, very nice. Very good.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope you guys all liked using the materials and felt the difference. And if you guys have any questions or concerns with the materials as well, let us know. But yeah, it's always nice to see other people using it and seeing what they can create from it. They do come in a set. The set is called the X Sketch. Those are all the oil pencils that come in the 12 pieces. It's the Neros in 3 grades, and then also all of the mega graphite in there as well, and the sepia in 2. Very nice, Donna. And you can also buy them, I believe, individually as well. And then for the mega color, it comes in sets as well or individual, but you can buy the set of 12, 24, or 36. Yeah, so definitely a lot less wax than Prismacolor, and also the pigments that Cretacolor uses are a lot more vibrant as well. But yeah, great to hear all the input about what you guys thought of the materials. I also think I put in there a link to the Studio watercolor pad. Flo, there's another brand of hot press paper that you use for Hyperrealist. Is it Stonehenge or is it Arches? But the pencils, regardless, on very smooth paper glide like no other pencils. So it's very satisfying holding it. And I've also spoken to a bunch of other artists who really like the format of the mega format because you can change your grip on it with an overhand grip and allows you more flexibility and expression. So if you're working on your C curves or any of your larger pieces, it allows that too. And so your hand doesn't get so cramped up.
Nice.
Yeah. Good. Very nice. So you can painting the Cretacolor mega color on the wood.
So you can use the Cretacolor mega pencils not just on paper, but you can use it also on wood, on canvas,
Oh.
and Mauer.
And
on the wall,
On the wall.
because the lead is very stable, but at the same time it's very soft, so it lays down a lot of colors.
On canvas, on all materials, so it's.
on our last workshop last year, Flo showed some pieces of his work, but he uses a Liquid Original with Nero on canvas, and it allows you to fill in canvas too to get a super dark black because it fills in the gaps with the liquid. And then he can lift it afterwards too with that electric eraser. So yeah, it's a very versatile tool.
Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions?
What's the electric eraser that he uses?
It's a Cretacolor one. I'll give Plaza the information on it.
Okay,
But you
thank
can get they can supply it right away. We have it in stock.
Okay.
And then Flo and Rika, can you use it on metal?
The pencils, the Mega Sketching Pencils, you mean?
Yes.
Kannst du das auch auf Metall verwenden?
Carolyn does coloring on copper with Prismacolor.
So we're testing. No.
No,
No.
it doesn't really work on metal.
On a metallic, when it's when you have a ground, when you have a ground of the metallic in painting. Yes. So on the metallic, no
So
ground.
on the metal itself, it's not working. So you would the only option Flo says that if the surface of the metal is more rough, it's not so smooth. Then
Yes,
it would,
when you
would
see
work.
the sandpaper and the blending on sandpaper, look here, and when it's the
So on the sandpaper, you can see it's a rough surface.
yes.
It lays down the color perfectly.
So when it's
Yes.
metallic, it's for it's also wenn es nicht
Wax
wirklich
pencils.
ist, dann lässt es auch, dann
Mm.
kommt es einfach hin.
So on metal, just because it's not a very smooth surface of the metal.
So Carol said she puts gesso down first. I also spoke with some printmakers this past weekend, and they were very excited about the possibilities of the oil pencils with lithography. So we'll let you know how that works out. But it's very versatile.
Clear pastel ground would probably work too.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
One recommendation is Elasco pastel ground with Cretacolor's pastel carrés, which we might have some information for Plaza later, but that really allows you to have greater flexibility with the pastels, and it really brings the colors out. But you can also do full wall murals if you want, because you can just paint that on. And Flo uses an acrylic paint together with the Elasco pastel grounds to give it a tone as well. So you can play around with it that way. But what's nice about the Elasco pastel grounds is how fine they are and consistent. So I think you actually may have a demo coming up later on in the year using those and seeing more about the Elasco brand. But that's another very nice brand from Switzerland that Flo uses. That's not as prevalent here in the States, but would definitely recommend. And Plaza will probably be picking up more. That's fun to see.
Great. Thanks you all for coming. Thank you, Lauren. You were very helpful with all the product knowledge, the information. Thank you, Flo and Rika, for doing this drawing today. Everyone's work was amazing. We look forward to seeing you back at some time in the future. And our next event should be launching tickets for tomorrow. It'll be on March 21st. If anyone's interested, we'll be sending emails out tomorrow with Winsor & Newton Designer Gouache, just to give a little heads up on our next one. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day.
Happy Easter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.